Hi everyone and welcome to Aciene Equalitea. Today's episode I'm talking to Rimgaile Aciene, who is a life and health coach at 360 Impact Health. She has an amazing story of both mental wellness and physical wellness and how those two things actually coincide and impact each other, and how being imbalanced in one can actually affect the other, and how she learned to overcome that and is now helping others to do the same. So I hope you enjoy. I have my tea ready and my snacks, so let's all sit down and have a chat. So thank you so much for being here today. And I'm very excited because this is something that I know, at least like within my circle, a lot of people have been talking about, like the whole idea of like emotional and mental wellness, and how it affects, like, your physical well-being, and how that, how those things actually coincide. I know a lot of people assume that it's kind of like it's hippie magic, or it's like, it's just like a woo woo sort of like, it's like a lot of people don't take it seriously. And so I'm so excited to talk to you about it, because you not only have like the academic background of, you actually went to school and you studied psychology, and and so you have the credentials in that sense, but you also have like that firsthand knowledge and experience of being physically ill and healing, and finding a way to heal yourself through, like, the psychological mental realm of things. So again, I know you kind of went through like a big medical thing that affected a lot of things. Could you elaborate on what your diagnosis was and how that, changed your life basically?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here and share a little bit more about this, I think, very important topic, especially nowadays. Like you said, everybody's, thinking that emotional and mental health, it comes on the second,
Mhm.
part, and the physical health is the most important. So people think that, oh, as long as I eat healthier and I, exercise, I supposed to be healthy.
Mhm.
But they do not realize, and then they still get sick, and then they are surprised why they are sick.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of what happened to me. On one part, uh, my health journey and my medical journey started about 7 years ago after I had my second son. And the pregnancy was okay, everything was good. But then later, about a year after his birth, I started feeling very, very tired and kind of exhausted, fatigued. My hair was falling out, and I was gaining weight, and my mood swings were very bad. Like all kind of, the things that you think that it could be, like uh, depression or like something, you're tired, and being, a new mom, although it wasn't a new mom, but
Right.
I also, when I was pregnant with him, I decided to do my business, and I started my fashion boutique at the same time while being pregnant. And before I got pregnant, I was studying nights, and I was graduating from my master for my psychology degree. So I assumed that I was just tired and exhausted, and that was, normal, not getting enough sleep. So that's what, affected my health.
Right,
I
you were
started,
stressed out.
yes, yes. And, I wasn't sleeping enough. I wasn't eating enough, like baby, business, and, school and everything, and catching up on life. So, but my symptoms got worse and worse, and I started to, go to see the doctors and find out what's going on with me. So apparently everybody thought that it's like, you know, kind of a depression, and just, I'm tired. The same what I was thinking. So they didn't pay much attention. They just prescribed me multivitamins and like
Oh,
antidepressants, and like, you just, have to take a better care of yourself. Just like sleep enough, eat better, and just, figure out on your own.
okay.
So I tried that. It didn't work. I went back to see the doctors, and again there was the same answers, like, if you're gaining weight, eat less, exercise more and like, sleep
Right.
more. You are just, exhausted. The questions were very funny sometimes that, are you happy in your marriage? Everybody was thinking that, I'm just going through the, emotional and mental health, but nobody really tried to figure out what was behind that, what was the root cause. Maybe, there was something deeper. And I was still doing my business. I was still, trying to do the things for my family and always, doing things for others, taking care of my kids and clients and business and everything. But I never paid attention and stopped and thought, what's going on really with me. So my health was just going down and down and down until I had to go to Lithuania to see for my business because
Okay.
my business, my fashion boutique was bringing the Lithuanian designers to the United States.
Oh
So it
wow.
was a
Okay.
Lithuanian fashion boutique. And I was traveling back and forth to Lithuania a few times a year. So that time I went to Lithuania and they did the blood work, they did the full blood work. And like in only by getting the results for my blood work, the doctor sat me down and said like there is 50% that you have tumor in your brain because the numbers are showing uh, this possibility.
Oh wow.
I was like, I had no words, but I deep inside I knew something was wrong because those symptoms were really bad and I was
Right.
hardly
It was
functioning.
more than just like stress and depression and
I
eating better.
No, I'm like, I was hardly functioning. And I was like, there were like moments that I didn't want to even live, but I just didn't know how to, leave everything. And it
Yeah.
was it was bad. So uh, that back time in Lithuania, they diagnosed me with pituitary tumor and uh, hypothyroidism. So I
Okay.
came back with a diagnosis here back in the States. I went to see the doctors here. I brought all the results to my doctors, and surprisingly, they said, oh, well, people live with that. You can live with that. We just, you just need some medication like hormones, levothyroxine for hypothyroidism.
These are the American doctors that told you that.
Mhm.
Sorry, if you don't mind me asking, how long were you suffering, I guess? Like how long from like when you started, trying to figure out what was wrong with you until you like finally figured out what was wrong with you. I mean, the fact that you had to go all the way to Lithuania to figure out is
Yeah, so
frustrating. But
I've been suffering for about 3 years until I got diagnosed.
wow.
And it was, at part, I think it was kind of my, responsibility because I didn't, stand up for myself. I didn't stood up for myself. I didn't ask doctors to do blood work. I didn't, I'm like, but I was raised like that to trust the doctors, to go to see the doctors and they would
Right.
take care of me.
But I
But
mean, yeah, they're the professionals. Like they're supposed to know.
But statistically, women in the States and all around the world are really misdiagnosed with thyroid issues. It is hard sometimes to diagnose, and most of the doctors always, first of all, start, you are either premenstrual or like you're, hormonal, you are,
Right.
just like depressed and tired, exhausted, you do this and this and this. So they usually just misdiagnose and sometimes even the blood work at the beginning doesn't show that you have thyroid problems, but the symptoms always there. And when the symptoms are there, people have to, start looking what's going on deep inside.
Right.
So it took me about 3 years to get diagnosed. And I'm like, eventually, I sold my boutique because I couldn't handle anything anymore. I was hardly functioning. I couldn't leave the bed in the morning and I still had to take care of the kids. So the boutique was, out of the case
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, if anything had to go,
Yes. So
there's
so
something had to go.
then yeah, then I came back here. I saw the doctors here. They prescribed me medications and they start doing just the blood work every 3 months to test, how the medication is working. But actually medication made me worse. I didn't feel better with them. I was just getting worse and my symptoms got worse. And every time I went to see the doctors here, everybody was just like, oh, I understand how you feel, but I'm like, just take the medication, take the different dose, take the different dose. And that was the solution here. I flew back to Lithuania. The solution there was to do the surgery. They wanted to remove the tumor because it was growing and it affected really my vision and
Yeah.
my cognitive abilities and everything. And it was like physical symptoms. And they wanted to remove it. And I was like, I was so scared. I'm like, it's
I
my
mean,
brain.
yeah, brain surgery. Like,
I don't want
that's
to, anybody touch that. And I'm like, I was so scared and I was so confused because there were two different doctors saying two different things. And I was like, where's the truth? I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere with this. I'm like, I seeing doctors and it's not helping me. So then I started to looking myself into, how can I help myself? Where's the problem? Why it's not working for me? So I did a lot of research. I spent my time to dig deep. I sat in the libraries. I researched online, and the more I researched, the more confused I was because I'm like when you
yeah.
start looking, there is so much information,
Well,
and
and this isn't
get,
your field, like it's not your field of expertise. Like you're essentially doing like, you know, people go to school for decades to
yeah,
learn this stuff.
yeah, and I'm like I felt worse and worse and worse, and I'm like I don't know. After like months of research, I finally found the health coach online one day out of nowhere. I don't know how it came out. I was just like, probably it was meant to be. And
Yeah.
I
Just like
believe,
I'm here.
yeah. So I found her, I read her story and it clicked to me right away because she went through the same that I was going.
Mhm.
Years ago, she had hypothyroidism, she had pituitary gland tumor, and all the symptoms, and she healed herself, and now she is doing the program
Okay.
helping other women to do to get healthy. And that was my like confirmation that I'm like, this is my last chance. I'm like, I have to try this. It sounds like promising. So that was my start of the healing journey. I finally, after years of being sick, I found a program that helped me.
Okay. So what besides just having, having the woman who, essentially like led you into it because she'd also gone through the same thing, like was that the thing that ultimately like told you no, this is right, or was there something else to it that really convinced you that like because I mean you've been doing research, like you for 3 years you've been talking to doctors and medical professionals and like but this one thing, this one person, this one, what was it that was like this is it?
For me, it was that I was hurt and somebody I could relate to and she could relate to me. So because she went through that, she could understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because going to the doctors, they're looking at you like a patient, but they just want to fix the symptom, they just want to fix the problem, they don't see, they don't dig deep, they don't treat the cause, they just treat the symptom. And every time I was coming, I was like feeling that nobody believes me, nobody
Right.
understands what I'm going through. I'm
Right,
sitting
no one's taking you seriously.
crying. Yeah, I'm sitting, I'm crying. I'm like, I'm 35 years old. I have kids, I have business, I have everything I want, but I'm so sick that I can't enjoy it. So, what's the point of living and what's the point of having everything if I don't feel like living anymore? I was crying, sobbing, and all I was getting, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry you feel like that. Just take the medication, that should help you. And I'm like, it's not helping me. And
Right.
you go home and you feel so alone and you feel that, oh my God, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm really depressed. But I'm like, I was sitting there and I'm like, I studied psychology. I know what depression means. I'm not depressed. This is something more. So why you don't, just try to figure out what is it there? So
Okay.
that was, all the confusion. That was like, you feel so lost, you feel so confused. And like you have family, you go home and you feel, that your family doesn't deserve what you are going through, because those symptoms, it's just makes your life miserable and everybody's life around you miserable. So I'm like, it was just like the toughest moments. And
Mhm.
when I found that person, that was the moment I'm like, that was the hope for me that it could be different. If she went through that and now she's feeling amazing and now she's
Right.
helping others,
She's living proof.
yeah, here is, something to be hopeful about. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about the program and what were the I mean, like I know you're a practitioner or practitioner. Let me start that over. Sorry. I know you're a practitioner now. So I don't want you to give the whole thing away because like I understand there's a lot to it. But what were the main, I guess, goals that you had to overcome in order to be successful in the program?
The program itself is very well, created, and I always thought that it's just the best, training you can get. But at the end of the day, it's person's work. We, like a program can provide all the tools and techniques, and the coach can provide all the information, but you have to do the work. You have to apply it to your life. You should follow, the recommendations to get the outcomes and the results.
Mhm.
You have like, support accountability. So that's very important when you are going through the things like that and you are confused and you are sick and you don't know what's working, what's not working anymore.
Mhm.
So we come with the expertise and everything to help the clients. For me to get the program work for me was my 100% commitment and dedication, and I trusted. I did everything I was told to do, recommended to do. The program and the coaches and me, including now working with the same company, we work with the clients and we work in a team with medical doctors as well. We don't do anything without the doctor's permission. We don't, recommend going off medication or doing this or this. If there is, the requirements for medical advice and everything like that, we definitely advise our clients to go and get the approval from the doctors and just
Okay.
stand up for themselves. So yeah, but most of the time, what it works in the program, if you are committed, if you are, doing the work, you will have outcomes, and our clients have 95% success rate. Yeah.
That's amazing. But so I'm curious, it is a program. It's not just therapy, right?
No, it is a program. Yes.
So what is the difference between your program and just going to like a therapist and talking about your problems?
Like, our program is unique because the therapy, like I mentioned earlier, like doctors, they treat symptom, right?
Mhm.
Therapy, you talk and you just, focus on the trauma, on the emotional, on the mental health, right? But you don't focus on the physical, you don't focus on your life routine and this thing. So our program is unique because we work on every single aspect of the human.
Right.
It's on the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all of the aspects of the person. So when all the aspects are in balance, you are healthy and happy. That's how you, become whole, like I would
Right.
say.
Yeah. Okay, so going off of that, what is the connection between the like mental wellness, spiritual wellness? Like what does it mean to have all those in balance and how do they affect each other?
So the
And physical
everything
wellness, sorry.
so everything starts from us, right?
Right.
It's everything from us. How you feel, that is how your life will go. If you feel happy, your physical, emotional, mental health will be in balance. If you don't feel happy, if you don't feel balance in one, for example, if you don't have good relationships, if you have emotional trauma, if you have psychological trauma, if you don't eat healthy and you don't follow the routine, and if you don't sleep and you're under the stress all the time, this will affect your health. So everything starts with us, from us, within. And when you take care of yourself, when you invest time in yourself, and like, at the end of the day, before going to bed, you check all the boxes and mark, what did I do for myself today? Did I spend time for myself? Am I happy? Is it what I'm doing makes me happy? And where I'm going with this, where are my dreams and everything. So that is the main point, to be, in connection with yourself, and build your health on that.
Okay. But I think what I want to, because I remember last time we talked, I asked you what was the connection between mental wellness and physical wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like, it's that idea, like, can you
How
think
it
yourself
affects the
healthy? Yeah,
health.
like,
Yeah, so I think that everything is connected. And of course, we as humans are like, raised to, first of all, take care of our physical health, right? To eat, to exercise, to sleep, to follow, this and this and this. And then, the mental health has to be, like we, as at least I was growing up like, oh, emotions, don't show emotions, don't be weak, don't be sad, don't cry, don't do this and this. So we grew up like, not being able to share our emotions. We keep it for ourselves. And that apparently is not healthy. So if somebody is not taking a good care of their mental health, emotional health, if they're not checking with themselves, how do they feel, if they're always under the stress, if they're, emotionally disconnected, it will
mhm.
affect your physical health in one way or another. Our mental health, our emotions are closely related to our physical body. So we can, depends on the people, depends on, their mm, predispositions and epigenetics and all the stuff like that. But some of people can have digestion problems. Some of the people can have, thyroid issues like I did.
Right.
Some others can, develop a cancer or anything, because everything that is not released, any kind of emotions that are not released, any kind of distress that we are not coping with well, and, avoiding, it just will reveal in one way or another, and it will affect our physical health. Definitely, we will start losing hair, we will gain weight. Some of people start, gaining weight, some of them losing weight. It affects our gut, so we become, our immune system may be weaker. So everything is connected in one way or another way.
So would you say that, like, essentially, like, if you're not mentally, spiritually, like, emotionally balanced, like, your body will essentially, like, your body starts sending the wrong signals to itself, right? And you start, like, your body gets confused because it's constantly under this, like, it's assume you're out of balance.
Yeah,
So it's
so the
like,
signals are never wrong. The signals are there to tell us that something needs attention. So every time you have a symptom, you have to have a question with yourself. What in my body needs my attention? What is not working? Why do I have this symptom? Because symptoms are our body's communication with ourselves. So it sends signals and they're never wrong. And the more we ignore the symptoms, the more they will become stronger, we'll
they
have
become
more of
problematic.
them, they will become, more uh, constant and
Yeah.
stronger.
Right. Okay. So, with all of that said, is there any sort of, like, exercises or activities or something that people can do, like, to check in with themselves? Because I know, like, especially now, things are so weird and, like, and convoluted, and life has changed for a lot of people. And so, we're all facing stressors, and we're all trying to handle things that we've never had to before. So is there something that you can recommend, like something simple that we can all do to maybe check in with ourselves and see, like, if maybe we need more help, or if we need to pursue your program, or if we need to like, do something more than what we're doing. Like, because we don't I don't think we all have to suffer. So
Oh, definitely no. We live once, so why we should suffer? It's so much to enjoy in life and to be happy and, experience. So, my main advice and recommendation is prioritize yourself. It doesn't matter how bad the day goes, it doesn't matter how tired you are, it doesn't matter how stressed you are. You have to prioritize yourself. So, every single day, check in with yourself. How are you feeling? And if you feel any symptoms, like check in, where do they come from? When did they start? What do they tell you? And everything like that. Another thing is self care and self love is number one. If you will not love yourself, if you will not take care of yourself, your body will start going, out of the balance.
right.
So it's just like, it could be a daily walk, it could be a warm bath in the evening, it could be like meditation, yoga, anything that brings you to the present moment and to appreciate yourself and take time to hear yourself and spend time with yourself. So this is really important because only when you listen to yourself you are able to
Yeah.
hear yourself and address your needs the best.
Okay. Is there like a recommended time? Like how long do you think it takes for someone to really, or is it different for
Depends.
everyone?
Depends on the person. Somebody who is very self-aware, who is taking a good care of themselves, it can be like 10 minutes and they
Mhm.
they are in the flow, in the energy, and they are rested and they are good to go. Some of who never done that, like I've been years ago, I was like, how do I do that? I'm like,
Mhm.
I go for a walk and I still thinking about my business and clients and kids and everything, not about me.
Right.
So I could go for 5 hours and I would never be, with myself.
Yeah.
Every person is different, but the second you are starting to being present,
Mhm.
then it's it doesn't matter how long you're going, you have to feel it. I'm like I said, it could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour, how much time do you have a day? But like I see, sometimes even a warm bath for 10 minutes to relax in the
Mhm.
bathtub,
Could be enough.
yeah, could be enough.
Okay. So tell me about the program that you work with now, and like the one that you're a coach for, you're a life coach, you're a health coach. Is it like it's like 8-week program, or is it like how does it work exactly?
So the program is depending again on the clients and their needs. When
Mhm.
I was in the program, it used to be only 8 weeks. So it was fast paced, very focused, most on the diet and lifestyle and some mental work. But the clients, they kept asking for a longer program. So it
Okay.
was developed. Now we have a 3 month, 6 month, and 12-month options.
Okay.
So some of the clients start with 3 months, but they end up doing a year long program because they just like it. They just need more. And usually, at the beginning, it's of course we dig, more into the physical and
Mhm.
that work until we get deeper and make the trust and bond and connection with the clients to go deeper and understand the root cause for everything. But the program is, yeah, it's 3, 6, or 12 months.
Okay, great. So, where can we find you, find your programs? How do we get in touch?
Yeah, so you can check the website www.360impacthealth.com, and there is all the information. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and yeah,
Okay, and it's you and and other medical professionals, so it's not. I mean, like you work with a whole team of people.
yes, yes. So I'm a health coach and life coach for the program, and there is a creator of the program. So she's Elena Isoldi Medici. So she was my coach, and eventually I joined the team. Now we are like 3 health coaches
Oh,
and
okay.
in the company. Yes, and there is a lot of different approaches. We all bring different expertise, different backgrounds, and different experiences. So that's really
Okay. And who would you say, like, who are the people that should reach out to you? Are like are they like suffering from physical things, mental things? Like what are your clients like tend, or what are they like? Who are the people that tend to reach out to you for help?
It used to be most of our clients that reach out who suffer from thyroid, autoimmune, hormonal imbalances, infertility, and all the related to, hormones. But we get more and more clients who suffer with digestion issues, who suffer with emotional and psychological issues, trauma, childhood trauma. So everything, like I say, if one part is out of balance, you
Mhm.
will feel the difference in the other parts. So clients sometimes come, they don't realize that they have more emotional work to do than the physical work.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. We work with all the clients who come our way. And like I say, we connect all the pieces. So
Okay, so it could really be anyone.
anyone different. Yeah.
Anyone at all. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for coming on with me. This was very informative, and I mean, again, like I think it's great that you have like not just like the academic, like you didn't just study this, like you actually went through it, and so you're living proof that this stuff works, that the stuff that you're like, that you're trying to help with people with now, like firsthand that it works.
Yeah.
And I think it's really beautiful that you're sharing that with everyone now, and that you're trying to help other people
Yes.
and like
Yes,
healing
absolutely.
them. Okay, well, thank you so much. This was amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. We'll definitely have to talk again soon.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much to Rimgaile for coming and talking with me today. I am so grateful for the wealth of information she gave us, and my biggest takeaway is definitely the importance of self-care, and I hope that we all take this opportunity to set aside a little bit of time each day to check in with ourselves and make sure that we're prioritizing our mental and physical health so that we can continue to take care of ourselves and each other. Thank you so much for coming, and I can't wait to sit with you again here on Afternoon Equality.